If it's going to move down, it's going to do it off this range, not this range right here, I think. It could, but yeah, if it's going to move down, I think it does it off the higher range. Seems like a pretty decent level, 66.87. I mean, 66.87 looks decent. 66, 85, 88. Come on. Did I already get picked up? Hello? Oh, it did. Nice. There we go. Come on, Bitcoin, pull back. So you guys can see how I found that level, how I played it, how I found the level, kind of in the moment, exact seconds. And it's free rolling right now, right? So what I'll do here is put this at 95 or 90 in case it breaks back over, and I can just click and get out. If it starts moving up, ridiculously fast, I can just click and get out, or I could take profits now, $100. I think I'm going to let it ride a little bit. I'm going to see a pullback here, I think. I can realistically close this whenever I want now because I could just buy up, right? So I could just click this at any time and buy up. So that's fine. But I do think we're going to see a big pullback. So hopefully you guys got in on that trade at 87. There it comes. Yeah, there it is. At the top, boys. This I'm going to buy up because we hit trend, backside of trend. I will buy that up and take my profits there. So just over $600 in profits because I do see we hit trend and bounced off. So I did take my profits. So yeah. Now it's likely going to fall below trend, but again, it's 100% in 2 minutes, right? So more than 100% in a few minutes. So like I said, it's likely going to fall, but to take 100% in 2 minutes, it's like, yeah, we could be done work for the day, right? So that's like $600 today we just made. So yeah, likely going to fall further here, but that's okay. Again, it's I think it's a pretty good trade for 1 minute. Sometimes you just have to cut your losses. I wasn't looking to turn this into a bigger trade, but maybe I should have, but that's okay too. Again, just taking what, damn, whoa, that really fell. Whew, I missed a lot. One of the reasons I didn't want to stay in this trade also is because I don't have levels marked out below. So I'm not really prepared for where this could possibly go. Yeah, I'm not at all prepared for where this can go. And this is kind of like the last thing I want to see is this thing rip right back up and then it, breaks back up. I definitely don't want to see that. Now, I don't think that's going to happen here, but yeah, I probably definitely left way too soon, but that's okay. It's like, yeah, catching that top was important there because you guys can see how it reduces risk, right? And the last thing I want to do is see this trend confirmed. It's the first touch of the trend and it's moving up, right? So you guys see how I managed the trade? I waited for the right moment. I executed it in that second, just like we did yesterday, right? Execute it in that second, make my decision. I have my level marked out. I know I'm going to target that. So when I see it moving up really quick, like I told you guys yesterday, I see it moving up extremely quick. I can just enter my trade in 1 second. It's filled. And then I can start preparing my exit to where I wanted to. Now, again, this was a scalp. Probably should have waited, but that's okay. 100%, 100 and whatever percent in a couple minutes is pretty decent. So yeah, that's going to be the action for a while here on Bitcoin now because it's just going to be either falling to get re-entry on this for the next part of the move. Oh boy, I'd like to see where it stabilizes instead of worrying. So we made about 1.3 and lost probably another one point something. That's too bad, but that's okay. Still, I mean, that's great profit that we just made. So no big deal. This is likely starting a downtrend. Like this is what I was saying. It's going to be a very crucial point that we're in the moment. Whether it's breaking up or down, these could be the best entries for a big move up to the weekly, or this could be the best entry for a big breakdown. So there's a couple scenarios here that I don't really like. But yeah, not bad. I think this is a huge move down, seeing this kind of volume, 7,000 Bitcoin. Well, actually, this is buying up volume, though. This is offsetting the shorts. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. This is a crazy amount of volume. Like this 2 minutes, 12,000 Bitcoin, this is a high amount of volume. That's really, really high. Holy Hannah, is that ever high? Like those 2 minutes is like more than what most hourly candles have. That's crazy. Well, at least you saw how like it's done, right? Like at least you saw how to execute the move. Like you have kind of two levels, right? You have these two different levels. You have your kind of your intermediate level, which was at 66.42, which was like, nah, that kind of looks like crap. And then you have your higher level, which is like, okay, this is most likely going to reject. Like the chance that this rejects is huge, right? Just because again, you're kind of creeping up to this level, it's going to explode over top of it, and it's just going to target the next piece of the move, right? So. And sometimes you don't necessarily want to just continuously ride a move down. Sometimes you want to be able to just say, oh, hey, look, there's a percent, 1 point something, especially if you're 100x, like that's a lot of money, right? So sometimes you just exit at 1% regardless, or 1.5% or whatever, you have a criteria based on the move. Like sometimes you just want to take different exits and entries, right? Yeah, because it hadn't really tested the backside of trend, so it did have a little bounce there. So the last thing I want to do is lose profits because this thing rips right back up, right? Like it was over 1% at that point. I think it was like 1 point, it literally caught here to about here. So it's like 1.3 that I got, and 1.36. So like the last thing I want to do is start getting into like a scenario where I'm like, oh, this is 0.8 profits and it was such a good trade. Like 80% is not enough for me there. Now it falls down another percent in a bit, but the last thing I want to do is be in a situation where like, man, I have to exit this trade on a failing level, right? So too many times I've been in situations, and well, yeah, you just trade over time, and that's what it is, right? Not everything is big, massive rejections like this. Like this is nice to catch, like 2% move like this in a few minutes. Like that's fantastic. And if you had all the levels charted and everything, and I had some levels charted down here, but I didn't really have time to look at them. But so many times you see like, oh, I could have made 1%, and then it moves up and you're 0.4. And then it's like, okay, what do I do now? Because it's going to pull back to try to hold the move, and I could sell there, or I could just continue to hope it moves down still. So instead of a scalp, it becomes more of a position trade. But sometimes when you can make like 1 to 1.5 on a scalp and it's only a few minutes, like why wouldn't you? Like especially if you're 100xing these extreme levels like this, like take your profits, because that allows you to just either walk away for the day and then start back again tomorrow, or it allows you to just simply continue to trade with no risk, because now we have a positive profit of $620 and there's no risk. And that was, we did the same thing yesterday morning. We walked on, we found a move. Yesterday's was 4%, which was nice. Today's was only 2%, right? But it's like the same thing. You just like, if you made $500 a day and you worked 300 days a year, like what is that? That 150 grand to work all of 1 hour a day. So that's like pretty crazy, right? So sometimes you just have to realize like, oh, I'm up 1% or 2, let's just find another spot. Because there's nothing wrong with taking 1 to 2% all day long across different trades. You know what I mean? Like no risk trading and just taking these spots. Because now we've 2 mornings in a row we've done this exact same thing. So now it's like, okay, that's cool. Step on, take one trade, step off, right? So it's like, yeah, pretty good. Just want you guys to realize, like, I have a few different levels marked out here. Let's talk about the trade. I have a few different levels marked out here, right? Like my first entry earlier in the day was at, and it really pissed me off because I tried to buy this level, and in my order history here, well, it doesn't matter. I bought this level and I got filled for like this top of the move here was actually my order, the 66.3350. That's my order, but it only filled 2 out of 40 Bitcoin because I put a couple $1,000s on this, and so it didn't get whatever this one was here. was it? 6610, and it only got filled for 2 Bitcoin. That's what it was. It was some level at 6610. Where the hell was that? And it was the top of the move. So it was I don't remember. There's one of these candles in here. Anyways, it doesn't matter. And so it's like it doesn't get filled. That's where my trade starts. Like that's where this whole thing starts here. So I get up, I start trading at 5 a.m. there. Start trading at 5 a.m. Start marking levels and doing all these different things. Really, I was targeting this range. So actually, you know what? The best way to do this would be to go here, BTC USD perp, like this. And to go here, and really, what was happening in this moment was like this, right? It was quite simple, right? It's like, okay, this thing looks like it's gonna have a pullback. Sorry, I'm on a 15-minute time frame here. I need to be on a smaller time frame. Yeah, so this is where we see that pullback this morning. Yeah, right. So this is what we're looking at. So you've got some different levels here. Where you're kind of looking and saying, okay, like here's your first rejection point, here's your second rejection point, and this is what I was looking at here, and you come up here, and this is where my trade, it was 63.3350. So I kind of got the last order, but it was only for like 2 Bitcoin. I closed it at 66.10. That's what I was seeing, but I opened it at 63. Yeah, right here, 63.50, and it only filled me, which was stupid because it only filled me for 2 Bitcoin out of the 29 that I had up, which was a piss off. Like it's like, come on, man. Like because I'm targeting this level, okay? So or I'm targeting this level here, right? Because this is the 5-minute, and the level gets front run a little bit. So I go here and I'm like, okay, 66.35. That's fine. There's going to be a pullback on this level. So here's a level right here. It's a few cents away, less than $1. So I just do 66.350. Obviously, my order didn't get filled. At that point, I'm no longer looking at this level. I'm saying, okay, technically the level didn't get hit. Yeah, technically this level doesn't get hit. Okay, so that's fine. Where can it target next? So then we're kind of going and saying, okay, here's that 42 level that we were looking at, 63.42 was this right here, kind of a greedier point. And it's like, okay, well, this could possibly have a move against that. Maybe it's going to first test this and then have its pullback. So this was kind of the next range I was targeting, right? In the meanwhile, I'm looking at this and saying, where's the range that's untested on the larger time frame? So I kind of have a few different parts of this trade planned out, right? I'm sitting here and I'm saying, where's the range? Oh, this is apparently a level from before, right? That's what it hit, right? 68.83. Yeah, that's what we would target. So what the hell is this from before? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's not what it hit. So that doesn't matter. What it hit is this level here. So I'm just simply looking at this and saying, okay, what's, if this thing is going to move up quick, what is it going to move up to? Exactly what it did. What is it going to move up to if it starts to move up quick? So I have a choice here. This level, I'm not even worried about targeting anymore. It's already tested. You're already testing inside of this range here. So we can go back to the, smaller time frame. You already have a tested level here. I'm not interested in that. You have kind of an untested one here. But again, it's so close that there's no reason for this level to be respected, right? Like you measure how much profits could be there, and it's like, why take this trade when potentially it falls down and hits this whole level, 0.5? So you kind of your first best case scenario, 0.5. Like why? Right? It just didn't make sense, right? So, looking at this earlier, and then, fine, whatever, we go through the motions here, that level is finally hit for real. And it's like, okay, fine. This level is not going to be respected. This 42 level is not going to hold. Again, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, why are you looking at a 0.2 move, right? Like it pulls back for 0.2%. People aren't going to take that trade. It doesn't make sense. Like when you see somebody dump thousands of Bitcoin, like what just happened, that starts with one person who has, 1,000 Bitcoin wall, typically not that. That starts with one person who executed the trade exactly like I did. They bought down as it's moving up at the exact level, right? So that's the thing. So, your decision is quick, right? In this moment, I know this isn't really a realistic level. At the same time here, I can't see a bunch of people trading down for 1%. Also, at the same time, I know this is trying to break a larger trend here. So I don't think you're going to trend break into a point of rejection. That really doesn't make sense. Instead, you have a very quick move, and I was prepared to make that trade properly, right? So 66.87. Is this the level we targeted? Oh, this is the level. Okay, so it was this level. I thought it was up here. 87. Oh, that's fine. So anyways, the decision is the same. It's just, okay, which one, right? I'm actually surprised that this rejected so hard, seeing that this is where it would reject to 1%. I'm actually surprised that this pulled back so hard. But then what I was about to say is that there's also a larger event happening right now. So this isn't kind of your typical move in the moment right now. Usually, I think this would have crept up to that level that we looked at, that 68 level. Actually, I think that would have crept up to that level relatively quickly, but maybe not in 1 or 2 candles. I think you would have had 5-minute bursts all the way up to it. But then we had that larger trend. Oops, let me erase this. Come on, get out of here. Then there's the larger trend that was going on this trade, right? Like you've got one trend here and you've got the back test of that daily. And I know that daily's breaking because it's on one of my charts. So I kind of know that daily's breaking. I didn't know I was going to back test it, but that's fine. What was that? XBT? Oops. Let's go here. I can't believe it back tested so perfectly. Unbelievable. It's a good target, right? Like it's a really good target. Now, whether the target was that or something else, I don't think this move is done because I think you are breaking trend to go up after this level right here. Let's turn this purple. But you guys can see how this trade unfolded, why I targeted what I targeted, and then what makes sense here on this trade. We have that. Okay, that's tested. That's fine. You guys can see why I targeted what I did, right? Like kind of the same thing that happened yesterday in our trading session. Something's moving up quick. I'm prepared with a level, and in one, a split second, it's over. So that's the kind of reaction I'm looking for when I'm looking at seeing these levels hit. I'm not looking for something where it sits there and hugs the level and keeps attacking it. I'm looking for these kind of instant pullbacks because this is a targeted level. It's exactly what it is. It's a targeted level. Now I'm almost wondering if this is actually pulling the move back off of this. It could be still moving down. What I'd look at is something like this right now, a very interior trend. They're all going to have small reactions. It doesn't mean that they're going to break the move, but it's just all going to have small reactions, like this kind of small little trend like this. Now it's nothing that I would say, oh, this is the level, right? Like that's not the case. That's not the case. It's just that it's like, okay, well, yeah, I might have a small reaction. You see? Now, this is a situation I don't want to be in that I was posed with earlier, where it's like, oh, this level could reject it. And then it's like, oh, it's not rejecting it. Should I sell? Well, this level could have been what was rejecting it. This is kind of same scenario. Like, where's the greediest point in this move that's going to pull this move back if it's going to continue to move back? Or is it still just moving up because it back tested trend and now it's like the best entry before the move up to 73.45, right? So always like a situation I don't want to be faced with. So, exiting here, 2 minutes, 135%. Yeah, I'm good, man. So yeah, just to talk through my trade and how I made the decisions I made and, how I didn't enter the wrong trades in that moment. It's just a matter of understanding like where, like this doesn't make sense. Like this 42 level here, it doesn't make sense. I suppose you could have been in this trade, got out with profits, and protected yourself had you taken this trade, but that's not always the case. There's only 2 or 3 guys in the world who can trade like this. Maybe 4, maybe 5, I don't know, but there's only a handful that can trade like this. So, I know that, when they make decisions, they make it with thousands of Bitcoin. Right. So like when you see this, this is one person starting a move and then, bots pick up on it. You have algorithms that say, oh, after it's moved up X amount of percent in 5 minutes and it moves down, X amount of percent, start selling, right? Because it's programmed to see knife catches and things like that. Like there's only a few of us in the world who can do this consistently every single day.